Go for it.
Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, and I'm the host of this podcast that's mine. Going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankest from the ground.
Friggin' what up, dude? Welcome to another ep of History is Dank, dude. I'm your host, Strider Wilson. What up? Got Aaron on the sticks, dude. Aaron, what up?
What up?
Freaking chilling, dude. Sipping on a LaCroix right now, dude. Sipping on a nice... I'm into sparkling water, dude. I've been into it for a little bit now, but I haven't declared it. And so now it's out there in the ether. It's international. It's on the sound waves, dude. It's on all the... It's just cruising out there into the ether, dude. I'm sipping. Are you a sparkling water dude?
I can't do it.
See, I used to be the same way. I hated it, man. I was like, because here's the thing. Don't drink it as a substitute for when you're thirsty. It's not like that. It's a pleasure sipper.
Can't do that. That's have you seen Ted Lasso?
I love Ted Lasso. Oh, the tea?
No, every time they give him water, he thinks it's going to be flat, and it's always sparkling.
Oh, yeah.
He spits in his boss's face.
He hates, that's like the only thing I disagree with this character. Like, I love tea and I do love sparkling water, but I do get it. I understand not liking those things. Just got to find your flave, dude. Got to find it. I've been housing Topos, dude. That's my go-to. It's a free endorsement. You're welcome, Topo, dude.
What's the flavor on those?
You can get different flavors. I honestly just like regular. Like right now, I'm sipping on a pure, no flavor. But if I did go flavor, I would get for LaCroix, it's Pamplemousse, which is French for grapefruit, and then Topo has a grapefruit one that's very dank. Not into the citrus one.
There's just not enough flavor for me.
Okay, yeah, it's not what you're looking for. You know, it's like, you know, it's like honestly, you're looking for a scrambled egg, and I'm trying to give you something sunny side up. It's like, come on, baby.
Absolutely, scrambled eggs for life. I have a Sprite Zero Sugar over here.
Ooh, dank.
It's pretty good.
Very dank. When I'm on an airplane, I notice this. Everyone on airplanes, and I may have talked about this once before, maybe on the very first step of History is Dank.
Yeah. Ginger ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or tomato juice. Very adult move to get tomato juice on an airplane.
Never done it.
But then I was talking to somebody, and they were like, when you're in altitude, people will honestly rip ass on planes because the pressure in your gut will go down a lot. And also something with the pressure changes like your taste profiles a little bit. So bitter stuff and so like a ginger ale, which is maybe not the most pleasurable flavor, even though they sugar it up. Canada Dry.
Wow. Ginger ale is way sugared
It's
up. It's
loaded.
more than a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's loaded, dude. You like, honestly, I'd drink those and be like, I'm being kind of healthy drinking this right now. I'm like, nah, dude.
You can't get a ginger ale. I've done this. I've made this mistake once. We're playing like hide and go seek in the neighborhood as like fully grown teenagers, and then went to a 7-Eleven, and I was dying of thirst, and I got a ginger ale and immediately regretted it.
Oh yeah, didn't slake your thirst
Not
freaking iota.
Should have just got water.
Water's the best, dude. G-Raid sometimes will hit the spot. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure, yeah.
But even those are loaded with sugar. Like I'm all about like the Gatorade AMs or whatever those things are, like a little less, or like a G2 or whatever it is. When I'm paintballing.
The LS, low sugar.
Yeah, the LS. Like to, you know, hit the speedball course and then, you know, house one of those puppies, dude, when I'm out there in freaking, you know, out there at SC Village, bro, or maybe over at Pendleton playing against some Marines, dude. I remember when we were kids, they'd be like, the Marines freeze the paintballs so they hurt you more. They want to make you tough. It's like what the older kids used to tell us, dude. But you imagine like some adult going out of his way to freeze paintballs to hurt little kids. You hear about it now, you're like, nah, dude. But as a kid, I was terrified, dude. And everyone's wearing camo, so I think everyone's a Marine when I was there. But you know what, dude? I got on the course, took my licks, dude. Never looked back, dude. Freaking love paintball. Now I'm out there, dude, and that's how I take out my stress, you know? I'm like, I need LASIK. Guess what, dude? This little kid Kyle's going to get it on his 13th birthday for that. Oh, dude. Don't have in-unit laundry, washer, dryer. Oh, that upsets me. Oh, guess what? I'm going to take it out on freaking this 45-year-old dude just trying to be out there and connect with his stepkid. Later. Get drilled.
That's like the bar scene in San Diego. It's like, yeah, everybody here's Marine except me.
Dude, yeah, man. I used to live in PB.
I can't start a fight.
No, dude. You do not want, especially East County, dude. You don't start fights East County where you're from, dude.
I'm not from East County. I'm from South. I'm way south.
Oh, well, Southeast, look out, dude.
There's no southeast.
So true, dude. You can get lost. I don't even know what I'm talking about, dude. I'm just like, dude, West County. You're like, that's the Pacific Ocean, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm right by the border.
Where are you, Imperial?
I'm east. I was east of Imperial Beach. I was like 4 miles away. 4 miles east.
Nice.
I had a guy spill an entire drink in my lap. I watched it happen. He was trying to talk to a girl. He backed into the drink that was on the table I was sitting at, and the whole damn thing just went right in my crotch. And I was like, he's a Marine. I can't fucking fight this dude.
No.
I just have to.
No.
I just yelled at him to get me napkins, and he did.
Yeah, because then
he was apologetic, but I was super
nice.
pissed.
But he was just like kind of not paying attention, maybe kind of being a douche or whatever, and then backed right into you. I mean, it was an accidental thing, but you got to stand your ground. You got to get your respect.
Yeah.
But when it comes to messing with the Marine, they know how to use their hands. I mean, look at a little movie called Con Air. Cameron Poe goes to jail for defending his wife's honor.
I mean, I have to correct you there.
Cameron Poe was he a Navy SEAL?
Army Ranger.
He was a Ranger.
That's where I learned about that they existed. Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't realize he was Rangers.
Rambo's Green Beret.
Okay, which is like the high unit, the elite unit of a Marine is a Green Beret.
Yeah. Cameron Poe, Army Ranger.
Which is an elite unit of the Army, but I would also say maybe not as elite as a Green Beret, just because I like Marines more.
I mean, yeah.
I'd say let
them take it up with each other.
I think Marines have got to be the most badass. They're usually the first ones in, dude. You know? And they're technically, even though they've got beef with the Navy, a branch of the Navy. And anyone who hates a part of themselves, I can empathize with and think would be the toughest.
Yeah, they don't get anywhere without the Navy.
Mm-hmm. That's the joke. They're like, you'll give us a ride, boys. We'll do the work. But then you have Navy SEALs.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of characters that were Navy SEALs. All the other guys in The Rock.
Yeah, the
Navy
dudes in The
SEALs.
Rock who like in the shower scene. Very sad shower scene.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Not the shower scene you're looking for.
No, definitely not a
Late
shower
at
scene I
night.
want. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's going to put you in a very different mindset, dude. Dude, speaking of dank movies, you know a movie I crushed? And this is actually from my historical share. Recently, it's just about what movie I rewatched and forgot about. I was happy my dome didn't let me remember this. The Da Vinci Code, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good-ass movie.
It's a good movie, yeah.
Infotainment, dude. I love infotainment, bro. For a dude who enjoys history, has a history podcast, Da Vinci Code, I'm right there, baby. I'm right there. So
it's
good.
dense on the info. I don't know if it is not necessarily true.
That's true. What they're doing is conspiratorial, but like, you know, the works they reference, like, Da Vinci's Man or whatever, like that exists, and like,
yeah, totally.
Which is cool, and like all those, you know, they give you kind of a rundown of like the Knights Templar, but they have like a different conspiratorial theory of like really who they are.
Yeah.
Fire movie.
Yeah.
It makes me want to think of I was talking to my brother about this, writing a movie, like a kids movie for, you remember the game, and you're from San Diego, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Of course.
Where like it's like a kid's Da Vinci Code, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be a dank ass movie.
For sure.
I'm putting it out there right now, dude. Copywriting it, dude. I enjoy sparkling water. Copyright that. And Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego movie getting written. Look out, dude. Big Hollywood players, dude. Try to jack my idea, dude. Then I'll call some Marines up, have them fight for me, because I'm not a good fighter, dude. And I'm also not even that good of a lover. I'm just more of a friggin' straight up stone cold chiller, dude.
Da Vinci Code has one of the all-time babes, Audrey Tautou.
Okay, that's Sophie Nauvoo, right?
Yeah, Amelie.
Oh, she's Amelie.
Yeah,
dude, she's very attractive. I was like, the whole time I'm like, how come this girl's been in nothing else? But she's been in, she's from Amelie. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, she's great. Good actress, and yeah, you know, easy on the eyes, as they say. And I love my boy, T. Hanks, dude.
Love him.
And so today, dude, we're talking about another, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego was like a computer game. We're going to be referencing another computer game, but also talking about the actual history of it, dude. Oregon Trail, bro.
Dude.
You ever play Oregon Trail?
So much.
Wasn't it just a great ass game?
Great. 100% great.
How many times did you die of dysentery, dude?
Oh, all the time, or at least most of my children.
How many times did one of your children, whose name was always like Michael or like Alex, got like exhaustion? And you're like, let's go, dude. Everyone has exhaustion. And then, to be honest, like anytime I would trade, I would just get more ammo and hunt.
Yeah, you gotta hunt those squirrels.
I would just go kill squirrels every time. It's where I learned the term fording a river. Never knew what that was. If you don't learn anything from today, learn that the word ford doesn't just apply to a vehicle. Ford is when you basically wade, but with a carriage and horses. You're basically your prairie schooner, not really a Conestoga, which is a little bigger, but a prairie schooner, slightly smaller, but still pretty freaking big, about generally 9 feet tall, and sits at about 4 feet off the ground with the big ass wheels. And yeah, you would go ahead and just try to walk right across the river. You'd ford it, and you'd be careful if the current gets heavy and you play Oregon Trail, bro, you're gonna lose supplies. And Michael or Alex, who has exhaustion in the back, they're gonna straight up drown and die in this game.
Yep.
So it's gnarly.
You ever beat it?
I've never beat it. When I was researching this pod, I watched YouTube videos, like a 20-minute clip of someone beating it, and I was like, it's something I've never done. So I got something out of doing this, guys. Have you ever beaten it?
Yeah, I beat it a couple times.
Beast, dude.
Yeah.
It's so hard, bro.
Yeah.
Because it gives you options. If you've never played, it's super fun. There's probably like a updated version.
Yeah. I think so.
I think it came out in '85. I've got my research down here. I'm gonna reference in a little bit, but like, it was just so fun. The song, and I don't know. You would make decisions. You'd come to like Independence Rock, and it's like, do I go this trail or that? Or, there's a Shoshone native, and would you like to trade, beaver pelts for, you probably want food or something, or even just like knowledge of a good route. So it's pretty freaking dank ass game, dude. But anyway, let's get into the actual Oregon Trail here. And Aaron, since you're an expert, if you hear of anything or spark any memory from one of your times that you've beat it, well, first of all, let me ask you this question. Was there any trick to how you beat it?
Not that I recall. It just took a pretty good hand-eye coordination at the end.
Yeah, you got to get across that last river. What is it, like the Colorado? I forget what river it is.
I think you're going down a river.
Yes, and stuff's coming at you.
And you have to just avoid all the rocks and stuff,
Yeah. You're not fording at that point. You have now deconstructed your prairie schooner. You've made a raft, and you are floating down the river to try to get to your destination, which is Oregon, because the Oregon Trail runs from Independence, Missouri to Oregon City, Oregon on the western end. So you always leave from Independence, Missouri, and you'd want to leave around April or May or something like that, because it would take a couple months, and you want to leave you don't want to risk it getting cold, because then you get a scenario like a Donner Party scenario. We've all heard of that. You're familiar with the Donner Party, right, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there should be a movie about that. I mean, you saw the movie
Alive,
or even like a Bone Tomahawk, where like that's more like made up, like cannibals out in the West, but like Donner Party had the results that they got stormed in a late winter storm. I think they might have left at the wrong time, and just got a little bit unlucky, and freaking there's a Donner Lake up in the Sierra Nevadas that you can go to, like kind of where they got stuck, and they had to eat the dogs and each other, dude. Very gnarly. And in fact, over the span of 40 years, the biggest boom on the Oregon Trail was like in the 1840s, and then people stopped using it once they built the Transcontinental Railroad going out there. But 1849 gold rush, people are wanting to go out there. The earliest people went on the trail for like religious reasons, and we'll get into a dude in a little bit who was everyone wants to convert the natives. We need to save their souls, dude. It's like, dude, check yourself, bro.
Yeah, natives were fine, bro.
They're chilling, dude. And I actually got a fun fact about native and pioneer relations coming up. But over the span of this 40 years, 400,000 pioneers use the trail, estimated, probably more, and about 20,000 don't make it. And they say like for every mile of trail, that'd be about 10 gravestones per mile. So definitely an arduous journey. And if you've ever played the game Oregon Trail, people would die from exhaustion, exposure, fever. Really why people wanted to go to Oregon. And I asked myself, why not just go to Cali, dude? It's right there, bro. Or why not settle in any of these other states that you're cruising through on the way? And facts is, people would go to, they'd cross the Sierra Nevadas because Basically, Lewis and Clark set up a trail, but that was then, perfected a little bit more by mountain men. But actually, a real actual secure route wasn't even perfected until 1859. And the Lewis and Clark Trail was really bad for wagons. So mountain men had to go up and and we'll get into these mountain men dudes are in a little bit, but sort of secure the route. But people would go to Oregon and then they'd continue down to San Francisco to go try to pan for gold, or go to frickin' California and be straight up chillers, dude, and probably, cruise on some fish tacos or whatever you could do in San Fran at that time. But I'd keep going south, dude. If it was me, my instincts would just keep me going south, dude, and post up in San Clemente, dude. Frickin' just make some frickin' dank acai bowls, dude. Chill down there at the pier, which didn't even exist yet, In fact, Dana Point was founded by Richard Henry Dana. I should probably do that episode of that. He found it from the sea, the west, but you're taking land access. But people would go to the Oregon Trail because, for a number of reasons, leading ones were basically there's this problematic phrase, manifest destiny, right? Coined in 1845, and it just says that Americans, man, we're destined to take over this land, is basically the sentiment of it. It's like, we're put here to take over this glorious land and make it great, and it's ours. And it's like, well, not really.
Yeah.
There's tons of people who are already there, but it's like, that was the philosophy that drove in the 1800s, expansion and territorial expansion. And, why Jefferson was like, let's go explore this. But obviously it's, they want resources, they want dollars. And then, there's definitely religious reasons, but people would join. In 1830, there was a big depression in the eastern and middle part of the United States. So people were looking for a new life. They'd pick up shop, sell all they owned, buy supplies, kind of like you do in the game, and then head out west to start a new life.
You think they maybe saw the Civil War coming?
Yeah, there was a big part of it, I was going to say, was political turmoil involving slavery. And Oregon and those states, there was no slavery. So you'd go out there, and if you had problems with it, and Missouri was obviously part of a compromise, bleeding Kansas and all these type of things. The states people are leaving, people are being murdered and killed over it. So I think, no question, people are sensing civil war. So there's fleeing due to that. So it's economic and then religious, and also moral reasons to go out west. And also, if you were going to settle in they call it the Great American Desert, the plains, and basically they're like, who are these roving bisons that are able to live in this plain desert? And they looked at it that way because there wasn't much surface water, not much lakes many lakes. In fact, it was illegal to settle on there because the government set it up as native lands, for relocation. So, and people were like, newspapers were always afraid of natives. You're going to get attacked or whatever, and running the PR campaigns, even though I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys about the Oregon Trail route. Also, people would, in Oregon, when you went out west, it was free of disease, like yellow fever or malaria from the Missouri, Mississippi area where a lot of people would leave from. So those are a lot of reasons why you would go and why you would surpass the plains states at that time.
Yeah, because we used to not have mosquitoes here in California.
Did we? So those are what
for malaria, right? You said malaria.
Yeah, the malaria was yellow fever and malaria, which you could get in Mississippi or the Missouri area.
Yeah, we used to not have mosquitoes.
I remember when I was younger, it was West Nile virus, mosquitoes don't go near still waters.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to.
It's still a thing.
Yeah, and
there were cases last year.
It's gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
So sorry, I took a friggin' dank sip of my friggin' dank LaCroix right there, dude. Anyway, plugging along our journey along the friggin' through our domes, the Oregon Trail through our domes right now, dude. So those are the reasons why people would hop on the trail. Now a little bit about the trail itself. I mentioned Meriwether Lewis and his frickin' boy William Clark, dude. Jefferson tells frickin' Lewis, dude, yo, dude, quote, the object of your mission is to explore the Missouri River and such principal stream of it as by its course in communication with the waters of the Pacific Ocean, whether the Columbia, Oregon, Colorado, and or other river may offer the most direct and practicable water communication across this continent for the purposes of commerce, end quote. That's why Jefferson sends them out on their mission. They find 2 passes. They go out in 1804 and 1806. They cross the freaking Rocky Mountains. They basically do 2 passes, one heading west and then one coming back east. And the one coming back east was actually a bit shorter and more practical route for wagons, the Lemmy Pass as opposed to the Lolo Pass. They cruise across all these rivers. The Blackfoot tribe is the tribe that is in control of the lands that Lewis and Clark are setting their route through. But basically, they are the ones who are like, okay, we made it through this way. Then you get mountain men who, over the years, who are basically beaver and pelt traders and fur traders and sort of like worked in a militaristic way. If you've ever seen the opening sequence of the movie Revenant, those are like pelt traders and beaver traders. They're employed by a company. They'd have a dude called a boussuet, which was like a slang term or a bastardization of the French term bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie meant like merchant class rising up. Like if you're bougie, you know, that's a term that is rooted in bourgeoisie, which just means like middle class, but upper like stuffy class, not royalty, but moving up. So the boussuet was the guy who like was the company man who would give the orders, but they basically were, you know, he would obviously get paid more and was the overseer. So these mountain men were just kind of like sort of hired guns, beaver hunters. But then once the beaver trade started going down in like the 1820s, then in 1840s and beyond. But basically you'd have mountain men from like 1810 to 1880. You know, that's when the railroad's going to take them out of business. They would be up there just basically as guides, or, you know, kind of quote like the Sherpas of the Sierra Nevadas kind of. And I think there could be a sick movie about just like mountain men guides up there. Like, I think basically Leonardo DiCaprio's character is a mountain man, is who he is. And so it's, I guess you could say there's already been a movie made, but not on the freaking Oregon Trail, dude. All right, dude. Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail. Let's go. Buying rights today, dude, with crypto, dude. Gonna make a freaking non-fungible freaking NFT script for this, dude. All right, dude. This moment right here is gonna become NFT. Send this digital clip, dude. The script. So these dudes kind of protected the route, and that was perfected in 1859. But the bulk of the travel was taking place like from 1840 up into about like, you know, the 1860s and 1880s. So anyone who was traveling during the bulk of it, like 1840 to 60, you know, pre-Civil War, and there's probably a boost once the Civil War happened. People were like, all right, we're out. Very dangerous, very treacherous trail blazing here. Hence your Oregon Trailblazers. So, in fact, you have your Great Emigration in 1843. That's this dude, Marcus Whitman. He's the guy who I said I was going to mention earlier. He's like this pastor who goes out there to convert natives. He's been out there multiple times. He's made this trip. And in fact, he's realized like, you know, the natives have their own ways and their own customs. And he kind of shifted his, you know, his business mind took over. And he's like, look, what I'm going to do is instead of trying to go convert natives, I'm just going to help people who want to get out west because I've been there. I can kind of be a trail guide and make money that way. And he took his biggest group on the trail with like 120 wagons, 1,000 people, thousands of livestock. Goes on their trek on May 22nd, lasted 5 months. And this is what opens the floodgates for pioneer migration along the Oregon Trail. So just frickin' this happens and it goes off. But then Whitman is involved in a massacre, you know, according to the papers. And then this is like basically the Cayuse War, which is a war between, you know, pioneers and basically the federal government on behalf of the pioneers and the Cayuse population when they decimated a part of Whitman. Because like basically from the natives' perspective, measles broke out. And so a lot of the interactions between natives and the pioneers was peaceful. They would trade, things would open up, it was fine. In fact, I mentioned earlier, 20,000 pioneers died, and a study included in this dude's book, John Unruh, dude, he estimates that over a 40-year span from 1840 to 1860, so peak Oregon Trail usage times, 362 emigrants and 426 he says Indians, but natives, were killed as a result of altercations on the trail between 1840 and 1860. So 20,000 pioneers died. 62 immigrants were killed by natives. So, but when you reared out the trail, you get so much, it's just because the hype, you get these Hollywood movies now where, you know, the Native American tribes are encircling camps out in the open plains, like Whitman's camp of 1,000 wagons going like that. And I mean, it makes for storytelling that's engaging and stuff, but it would make no sense. Like when attacks did happen, it was usually, he says, this guy, Unruh says, it's like usually retaliation for theft, some hysteria around measles, which is like what this Whitman scenario was, because the settlers brought with them, because they have had lived in cities and they've developed immunity to things like measles, or actually really, they don't have immunity to measles. That didn't come way later. But smallpox or other diseases, which wiped out tons of Native Americans, there would be hysteria about this. You know, a tribe listens to a shaman. He says, "Oh, it could be because of a god," and anything like that. And even the settlers themselves, they don't quite know the medical reasoning behind it. They just are lucky enough to have the immunities because they've lived in that or got sick earlier and were able to defeat it. So basically a lot of lack of knowledge, then in issues augmented by like newspapers and sensationalism and journalism saying like, oh, I mean, like that is a news story. Like this Whitman, this guy who's been out there tons of times, his camp gets attacked by the Cayuse. But a lot of the native tribes that were along the Oregon Trail of the Pawnee, Arikara, Cheyenne, Comanche, Sioux, Arapaho, Otto, Kansa, Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, Nez Perce, I'm going to be saying that wrong, or probably a lot of these wrong, Cayuse, which we mentioned, Umatilla, Walla Walla, and Wasco, to name like some of the most prominent. And even within those ranks, there's other various, I guess, I don't know, dissemination, but is the right word, but facts or sections. But there was like no real written record that at that time was being recorded, or even just recorded, if that was how something, a lot of time it was drawn out, or oral stories was the way you would share something, and there was no translators. So the only stories that were heard were of those of the white settlers and someone who was, genuinely afraid if they felt attacked or whatever. So you're only getting one side of the story, and it's like, oh, these crazy natives came down and they were like mad. Well, what were they mad about? Probably because, oh, disease is killing their family, and these people that are coming across here are the ones bringing it. And oh, someone stole something. That's just one scenario. Maybe they're mad because you see someone get attacked because someone stole something. All I'm saying is there's two sides to every freaking story. And to this story, we only got one side because the settlers were the ones writing the accounts. And you can go online now and look at, the diaries and stuff. And if you want to go to ancestry.com, I was looking at something on history.com where like a dude tracks down a relic from like his ancestors on the trail. He like cries. I was like, dude, I was like, dude, if I found a relic of like my freaking great grandpa and like he got like stabbed by someone, or like, I truly like wouldn't care. I don't know. Aaron, would you care if like your grandpa got like murdered or something like that? Like not your grandpa, but like your like 7 times great grandpa from like, I guess the 1850s isn't that long ago. So basically like your quadruple great grandpa.
Would I care? Of course.
Like, would you shed a tear?
No.
Yeah, see, this guy shed a tear. I wouldn't. I guess I would care, but I'd be like, "That's a bummer." Is basically how I'd feel. Maybe that's cold of me, dude. But I would be like, "that sucks." I would empathize as best I can, but I don't know if I'm shedding any.
I mean, I will seek vengeance on the descendants of.
Of course. I will pray to many, many gods to curse their families for generations to come. Yes. I will track down his descendants and sacrifice them in a ritualistic manner to set things right. Mm-hmm. And I'll do it on the solstice.
Sure.
Shit going down on the solstice, always better. If you're a dude, you're listening, you're a virgin, bone on the solstice. If you can. You get a nice lady who's like, yeah, let's do this. I never done it, but it sounds cool.
Oops, excuse me.
and a miracle might happen. Just hope that miracle is not a baby. Unless, unless you guys are ready, dude. Unless you got fat crypto, dude. Anyway, dude, that's what I want to say about that. So basically, yeah, dude, the passages with the relations between the natives and the pioneers were basically legit. It was commercial, it was chill, dude. Of course, we know things go south later on, and especially after the Civil War, when expansion picks up even more and more. I just want to give a shout out real quick to oxen, dude.
For real. Unsung heroes.
Oxen, dude. First of all, I was like, what the hell's an oxen? It's just any castrated male. So it's a dude with no cock who's just pulling weight.
He might still have a cock, but no balls.
No balls. That's right. He has a cock. You're right. It's a dude with no nuggets.
Which, honestly, I could live with.
I would rather have my schlong. I'd rather have my D piece than my nuggets.
Yeah.
For sure. That's true.
Rather have the Frank than the beans.
Aaron, very well put.
Yeah.
Very poetic. I just want to say, dude, it's just like these oxen, dude, and you've played the game Oregon Trail, dude. You need your oxen, bro. They're pulling your wagon.
Yep.
If you're in a pinch, they literally might make the ultimate sacrifice. Like in the Donner Party, you got to gobble them up. They're beef in a pinch. You could trade them. I think basically, when I refer to myself as being a beast on the grill, or if my boy hits a rebuttal cup, single cup, rebuttal cup, and I go, dude, you're a fucking beast right now, and then I bring it in. When I'm imagining that beast, I think it's an oxen.
Wow.
Maybe a moose. But is a moose bovine? No. No, that's different. That's like deer, whatever that word is for that. It has to be a bovine dude with no nuts. Yeah, it's an ox. I'm saying my boy's a beast. He's being an ox.
I mean, if you could train some moose to lead your wagon, holy shit.
It's on. That's some Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah, that's the natives or whoever, just marauders.
Look out.
Pirates. They aren't coming at you.
They're not coming at. That's like when you think about like Hannibal's army from like the Roman times, like with elephants, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly stuff right there. I'm not messing with that.
No.
Tusks and all, dude. And these are African elephants, bigger than an Asian elephant.
Yeah.
Gnarly, dude. So yeah, just a quick shout out to ox. Also, just about why cut off the balls? Dude, because like I'll say this and I'll say it again, dude. My great point, if I was writing a thesis, dude, if I had to graduate and write a thesis paper to graduate, it would just be about how horniness is the true energizer of society. It is and it's sort of counterintuitive because it's not scarce. Wars take place in economics. It's based on scarcity. This crypto market, NFTs, it's creating scarcity in a digital platform. Horniness it's abundant, it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere, but it's how do you harness it? You know what I mean? You have to be motivated. You have to be persuasive. Sometimes you got to cut off the nuts so that this horniness is getting these regular bull too out of control. We got to turn it into an ox. Harness that energy. Crude. Don't want to do that. Wouldn't do that to a fellow man. But all I'm saying is horniness drives civilizations. Okay? It's right up there with coal, iron, gold, religion. I'm saying it. You heard it here first. I think let's do a typical journey along the trail. I found this nice little journey on history.com. Aaron, maybe you can compare this if you feel free to chime in at any point, excuse me.
Sure.
Of how this would compare to the journey that you did when you absolutely won the game. Oh, actually, before I do that real quick, I want to give a quick shout out, because I shout out to Oxen. I got to give a quick shout out to 3 student teachers, Don Rotsich, Bill Heineman, and Paul Dellenberger. They created Oregon Trail in 1971.
Nice.
So they're the freaking legends, dude.
Did they create it as a board game?
They created it as
71
to help Minnesota school children learn American history. This was a computer game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Computers the size of this room.
Maybe that had to have been a board game at that point, dude. And then it was converted into I don't think the computer game came out till like 85.
Yeah.
Like where you could play it at home because, yeah, I mean, we're talking like that's 71. NASA's still using computers the size of like rooms at that point, right? From their Apollo missions. So they're the ones who invented it. And then it was later become. But those are the dudes that was from like a website called like Gamer Hall of Fame. So they're in the Gamer Hall of Fame, those guys. And I think, you know, they were involved in obviously the creation of the game and had the rights to it when it became a computer game. Bro, I play Oregon Trail on Xbox.
Looks like it's on, well, there's a version of it on iPhone in the App Store.
I think I should probably get it.
It doesn't look the same.
No, and it's sort of charming and nostalgic, you know?
Yeah, this is more of like an RPG or something.
For sure. All right, dude.
There's a game called Oregon Trail, which is a zombie game.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's fun.
Does it take place in Oregon City, Oregon? Is that where the outbreak is, or Independence? Maybe you're a zombie on the trail and you take out pioneers, dude. Some too soon Donner Party joke right there. Could have been. All right, dude. So if you're cruising on the Oregon Trail, it's critical that you leave in April or May if you hope to reach Oregon before the winter snows began. Don't want to get caught up in a storm, dude. Also, this meant there'd be ample grass along the way to feed your livestock, a.k.a. oxen. What up, dude? Excuse me, dude. I got to take a sip of my LaCroix. I like saying LaCroix.
It's LaCroix.
It is.
Hilariously, the graphics to this Oregon Trail are very much like the Oregon Trail.
They did throwback graphics. They wanted to tap into that nostalgia.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I might have to play this after. I might just have to make a dentist appointment so I can play it while I'm waiting. Dude, so Oregon Trail gained popularity, dude, and freaking it wasn't unusual. We all know this for thousands to emigrate, especially during the gold rush, dude. There were slightly different paths for reaching Oregon, but for the most part, settlers crossed the Great Plains until they reached their first trading post at Fort Kearny. You've been there, Aaron. You know that. Averaging between 10 and 15 miles per day. From Fort Kearny, they followed the Platte River over 600 miles to Fort Laramie, and then ascended the Rocky Mountains, where they faced hot days and cold nights, dude. Sounds like you could write an album in something like that, dude, like a Mountain Man album, dude. Summer thunderstorms were common and made traveling friggin' slow and treacherous, dude. Bust. Then you hit Independence Rock, dude. This is given this name because you usually do it around July 4th. It meant you were on schedule. So people add their freaking name to this rock, dude. Became the Great Register of the Desert, dude. After leaving Independence Rock, dude, settlers would cruise down, dude, climb the Rocky Mountains to the South Pass. They then crossed the desert to Fort Hall, dude, the second trading post, dude. Cruise in there, dude. That was where I would trade for ammo, go squirrel hunting, try to trade for honestly, dude, if you were like a freaking, I don't even know, they probably had herb back then, dude, but you were just a weed dealer, dude. You could just post up there and just sell herb and be like, dude, chill out on your way to Oregon, dude. You know what I'm saying? I think they got the, maybe, I wonder when Humboldt, California, dude, the good Cali bud started getting grown, dude. Probably right around the 1860s, I'm thinking. From there, they navigate Snake River Canyon, steep, dangerous climb over the Blue Mountains before moving along the Columbia River to the settlement of Dulles, dude. Not Dallas, D-A-L-L-E-S. And finally to Oregon City, dude. And from there, people would continue to California for the gold rush, dude. I mean, that's your basic freaking journey, dude. So you'd get dysentery, cholera, smallpox, flu, inexperience, exhaustion, carelessness. Die of carelessness, dude. I feel like that's just like when you get like so, what's the word, delirious, that you're just like, fuck it. It's pretty like crazy that they have like a sort of a clinical term. Yeah, dude, Gary got carelessness out there. That's like what, what's his face gets in Armageddon, dude. My boy, who's Nucky Thompson?
Buscemi. Yeah,
Buscemi gets carelessness and starts shooting a gun. And then that other dude goes, why you got a gun in space? One of the best lines of all time. What are they doing with guns in space? So gold, dude. First transcontinental railroad in Utah in 1869, dude. That's when the usage of the Oregon Trail dips down after the Civil War, slight boom, and people would cruise out from Utah after that. 1890 railroads were just cruising pretty easily, dude. And the covered wagon settlers' days were basically no more, dude. Freaking Dank, dude. Oregon Trail, bro. Aaron beat it, dude. He's a beast. I'm glad I have an expert on the Oregon Trail right here. I think I wonder if you could just go and do that hike now. I bet you could. I mean, if you got 5 months to spare and you like living on the edge, go for it, dude. Get yourself some oxen. I mean, rich dudes are paying to go to space. Why wouldn't they pay to do the Oregon Trail, you know? Mountain Men, cut an album out of it. Bone outside under the stars. Sign me up, dude. As long as I got Wi-Fi. Be sick, dude. Sick. The Oregon Trail's sick game because you make decisions. Yep. I think it's important for kids to have that, dude. The decision-making process, you know? Critical thinking is what it does and teaches you a little bit about the history. It's a fire game, you know? Be a fun, interactive games like that could be the future, dude. They should have the game of life, dude. You know, me looking back, should I decide to be a stand-up comic? No. Get your real estate license at least. Would have definitely done that back at Independence Rock, dude. Kidding me, dude? Actually, maybe probably in Oregon City, Oregon. Or maybe at, you know, Fort Kearny, set up a nice little market out there. And then, you know, express my creativity later once I've lived a little more life. Psych, dude. I'm on a journey and I'm enjoying it, bro. All right, let's take a few questions. And we'll cruise out, dude. Hola, Senor Wilson. I'm listening to your new pod with Harmony McElligott. Yeah, dude, this was last week. Legendary name, fire name, dude. And your riff about Michael Douglas got me pondering. What are some relationships in the past that have turned gnarly? Whether it's a serial killer or a dude who needed some life insurance, moolah. What are some of the craziest instances of fatal attraction? Stoked on the new pod. You and Aaron always kill it. Nice, dude. Aaron's a freaking straight up beast. Thanks, dog.
Thank
Wyatt. Thank you, Wyatt. I mean... There's, well, OJ, obviously. You got, I mean, anyone who's married to King Henry VIII, look out, dude. Tons of Shakespearean plays, well, that's like fictional, but a lot of it's based on actual people. Mm-hmm. Like about an abdication or someone gets assassinated, and tons of that. But in modern history, there's got to be some ones. I know that dude like Phil Spector, the music producer, was a huge psychopath.
Dude, I was just thinking about him.
Yeah.
Huge psychopath.
That dude's a nut job.
Just passed away not too long ago.
I think that's why, yeah, I was listening on the radio. I was actually listening to K-Earth about Phil Spector. And you know, who's the guy that does it? Christopher. These top 5 songs from
Casey Kasem?
Yeah, Casey Kasem, dude.
Also R.I.P.
When did he pass away?
3? No, more like 5 years ago. Mm. I think his family's still fighting over it.
Really?
Yeah. No, remember the Fatal Attraction, the astronaut who drove from like Houston to Florida wearing a diaper with like a axe and rubber tubing in her trunk to like go kill her boyfriend's wife.
I remember that, and like wasn't part of the plan to do it. She wanted to make it in an amount of time that seemed humanly impossible.
Yeah, so she wore a diaper.
Psychotic amount of premeditation.
Yeah, well, they're astronauts, man. That's what they do.
Exactly. Being an astronaut, you know that I was listening. You can, there's like this, I think this Japanese businessman like wants to send people to space, but he wants like influencers, and it's a part of a, you know, a gag to get like, you know, probably create buzz for his business, dude. And anybody can submit. It's like, telling me how many followers you have. So basically our society has come to like, you can be an astronaut now. You used to have to be like a F1 Top Gun freaking pilot, dude. Neil Armstrong, like elite dude, freaking 2010 vision, Raptor vision, dude, and just able to stand G-force and just, you know, basically be able to bury your emotions and stay focused in the most insane circumstances. But now it's like, you want to cruise around the moon? Let me see your TikTok. Is it going off? All right, sick. Yeah, we'll sign you up. But I guess that's the stoked-induced way of looking at it is like, we have technology now where we can send people like that into space. It's not like they're the decision makers up there. You know, they're not the playing Oregon Trail up there, dude, making the choices. What we're gonna do on the dark side of the moon, dude. You know, Johnny on the spot calculus, how to get back, Apollo 13, what up, dude? What up, Strider? I want to start off by saying I've been bumping your pod for the last couple of months. I get absolutely fired up listening to the eps. You and the AA Ron are killing it. Psh, love that, dude. Freaking Aaron beasting.
Right.
My name is Samson, but I let my boys call me Sam. I'm a seasonal firefighter up here in NorCal. I recently turned 23 and just purchased my first house back in my hometown where I blossomed into the young chiller I am today. Hell yeah, dude. Congrats. The past year, I've been crazy busy slaying the dragons, a.k.a. wildfires here in CA, and putting in sweat equity into my casa. I've been in a couple of dank relations in the past, and luckily I've been able to find GFs for the night here and there throughout COVID, at least 8. All right, my dog Sam. First of all, those aren't GFs.
For the night.
I love you. I respect the work you're doing. Thank you for keeping us safe and nature safe. You're a freaking beast. But slaying fires and also having 8 different GFs in the span, I don't know. I would just say you've been in some fun, you've had some fun flings, dude. I think you should take the G out of there and just say I've had 8 Fs for flings, dude. That being said, I find myself longing for the friendship and constant touch of a female. The only problem is all the single females here in the dirty 530 are all either too young and dumb for me or just repulsive stoners. No hate against the ganja. I used to partake in charging doinks, dude, with the crew, but it can't be the sole purpose of your existence. I agree. You don't want your weed to be your personality. All the potential candidates here for a dank GF seem to have been swooped up. I'm a pretty busy person between the home improvements, lifting heavy, mountain biking, and absolutely crushing IPAs with my crew during the weekly poker night. I love it, dude. The only thing is I'd love to have a lady to share some of my hobbies with, plus I'm tired of drilling myself to sleep. I'm a very goal-oriented person and don't have the time for petty bullshiz that most females love to talk about. I just want a female that has the same drive for success and that is potentially passionate about some of my hobbies. If you, Strider Chilson, have any recs on where to find or how to find a dank GF, I'd really greatly appreciate it. I'm happy with who I am and where my life is going, so I wanted a GF I am satisfied with my path. Should I let my lady into my life only to have my heart crushed like a meaningless IPA that gets her buzzed for the night? If you could answer this on your pod, that would be the tits. One love, Sam. Sam, my dog, thanks for writing in, my bro. I mean, there's a little to unpack, but I'll tell you number one. Sam is set on his path. Firefighter. You're lucky, dude. You're lucky you have this. You have direction in your life, dude. You've got a home. You've got stuff. You. Let me tell you what, Sam, and this is good for you. You don't undervalue yourself, which many of us do. But at the same time, you're coming into a relationship here, the way I'm feeling it is like you are needing a, quote, female here to prove herself to you. I don't know if that's the healthiest way to approach a relationship. I think subconsciously that happens. It sounds like you're an aware dude. You got an active dome, and maybe that's why you steer clear of the ganj. But I would say, dude, try to open it with, and it's fine if some of the ladies in the Dirty 530 aren't striking your fancy. That's okay, and it's tough, and proximity limits to a degree. But don't worry about getting on the apps or something like that, or if you're traveling or something. But proximity is a tough thing to tackle. But what I'm saying is your approach, I would like it to be more open in the regard of less like of when it's almost like you're watching a comedy album and you're like, I know what's funny, make me laugh. Like you feel like you're coming like at the dude at that show, whereas instead be like, dude, look, I'm out, I'm having a good time, and if I laugh tonight at this show, that's awesome. It is what I came here for. You are out here to find love in this battlefield, aka comedy show analogy I'm drawing up here. But it's like, come into it with learning about somebody. You might be charmed. You might find that someone who at first, first impressions are big, but they're not everything. And I'm not saying if you are getting a bad feeling about someone that you necessarily have to explore it, but be open-minded, and have the feeling of like, no one wants to feel like they're passing a test to get into a relationship. That's going to shut things down quickly. You know what I mean? Yep. So I would say, dude, just freaking be a little bit, be chill. And it's kind of funny because you're already doing a lot of the heavy liftings out of the way. You got your job. You do literally actually heavy lift, which I love. Now it's just about, dude, post up, enjoy yourself, and be open, and don't need to rush it. You know what I mean? It sounds like the ladies do like you. and you've had 8 quote GFs, but you know, it sounds like maybe some of these ladies would be into you, but you're necessarily not into them, and hopefully you're being honest with them about that. But it's like, yeah, man, I would say just be chill and challenge yourself and to do that.
I can't stress this enough. Join an adult rec league, co-ed rec league of whatever sport is your choice. Your choice. Jesus.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Aaron, I think you're onto that. I would even say, dude, like for him, he's so like oriented and goal oriented, dude. I would say like a CrossFit gym. Like if you get a girl who's really into CrossFit, I think he needs a girl who's gonna balance himself out with like, she's gonna have her own. I think you're gonna want someone who is very invested in herself to a degree, of like either on a fitness level or work or whatever, where it's not like, where she's gonna have her own path. You know what I mean? Like I don't want him to be in a trap of like, oh, this girl needs to hop on my path and that. I think it's got to be like, and I think she's gonna support you naturally, but I think someone who's a lady who's on her own journey as well will humble Sam up a little bit and make him fight for a little bit more, which I think will ignite attraction organically.
Sure. And whatever you do, bro, don't cut your hair.
Yeah, never cut your hair, dude. A name like that, you kidding me, dude? No chance, but you lifting light real quick, dude. All right, dude, let's do another, dude. What up, Strides? Love the pod. Want to offer my most sincere congrats to you and your DF, dude, for saying yes and taking such a dank next steps, dude. Thank you, my freaking dog, dude. Also, thanks for boosting my stoke by so emphatically conveying how dank you find it that orcas cruise around the pods with their bros. That's true, I do. I usually focus on how legit their teamwork is when they try to go in to kill a shark or a blue whale as a crew, but now I'm primarily fired up that they roll in pods and have 6 squeaky nicknames. Hell yeah, dude. Maybe one of their nicknames is Squeaky, dude. Maybe that guy, you know, deals orca meth. Wanted to humbly offer a quick pronunciation correction on a dank word that you use repeatedly to describe the use of shadows and light to highlight bros, chiseled physiques in classical artwork. Yeah, dude, I am throwing this around. You're throwing down a chiaroscuro, yeah, but it's more like chiaroscuro. Dude. Will, thank you. Chiaroscuro. Regardless, it's such a dank word, but wanted to boost your legitness when you use it. Also, I think this is literally the only thing I remember from Art History 101 in college, and I'm stoked to finally be putting it into some use. Keep on rocking in the dank world, Will. Will, you're a beast, dude. I hope you get hit by some nice chiaroscuro lighting in the gym to really accent the work you're doing on your delts and look at those striations pop, because you deserve it, my dog. See, I love a nice correction. Thank you, dude. Let's do one more, though.
It just makes me think of churrascaria, which is like a Brazilian barbecue place, isn't it?
Ooh, I know there's Fogo de Chao, and I know there's churros, which are dank, which I get at Disneyland. Ooh, chiaroscuro. Hell yeah, dude. He spelled it out nicely. Chiaroscuro. Fire, dude. Phonetic. Strider, what up? I was recently on a date at a restaurant. Breakfast date. That's my style. I asked a waitress if they could mix my protein powder into a shake while we were there. I ordered other stuff, but my date and the waitress were like, what? I mean, dude, I want to just maintain shred and get my nutrients in the AM. Was this so wrong of me? Devin Diesel McGraw. I don't think so, dude. I mean, look, it's definitely out of the norm if you're bringing your like Metrix powder or like a, you know, I'm envisioning, or maybe he brought a Ziploc bag of whatever, you know, maybe he uses a plant-based protein or whey or whatever, and he's like, yo, can you do this? And like, I don't know, like at that point they could be like, that's not up to kitchen code. They might hit you with that, which I could see. But like, I don't know, the what reaction I think just comes with the territory of that request because it's a little out of the norm. But at the same time, I fully maintain it. If I was on that date with you, I'd be like, I'm freaking fired up on this dude for maintaining his rig and having the freaking commitment to that. What do you think, Aaron?
It's a little weird to go to breakfast and bring breakfast with you, you know? It's like if you walked in there with a plastic baggie full of waffles.
That's true, but he said he did. He said, I ordered other stuff.
I know.
He says he probably got himself some egg whites, spinach,
sure,
omelet,
of course.
Maybe some dried tomato, take care of the freaking prostate.
Of course.
But it is a little bit weird. Yeah, it's like, can you cook my own steak? Like a fisherman goes to a seafood place. Look, I just caught this fucker. Just pepper it up and grill it for me. Little lemon and garlic. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I'd also be careful. I mean, I'm sure you know what you're doing with protein powder, but some of those are bloating, can make you gassy. You're on a date. You don't want that to happen.
True. I do like that breakfast dates style, though. That's something that I'm into. Let's go get breakfast together. Kind of sets a nice tone where you could be like, because in movies they're like dating, like, you guys meet each other at a party. Where should we get breakfast tomorrow? Hence implying you guys would be enjoying each other that night. But really, you could take the crudeness out of it and be like, look, I just want to take you to breakfast. Get some blueberry pancakes. Cook someone breakfast is an even better step. But then you have to enjoy each other at home. Then you put all the protein powder you want. I mean, look, I'm all about maintaining the rig and getting after it, and I kind of love that, dude. I would say maybe just ask for a glass of water and just have to choke down the powder in a cup of water and just stir it up yourself with like the knife. That's the move. Or sprinkle it on your muffin or into your coffee. Because especially if this is a first date, honestly, in the future, as much as I do love you getting after it, and if you're with your boys, by all means, bring the frickin' powder and bring a little extra for me too. But if it's a first date and you're doing that, could be a little bit of like, she could be like, well, what's going on with this dude? But then again, you're being you. It's tough. Bring it packaged if you do. Don't bring it in a Ziploc bag. Although maybe he wanted a dank banana and peanut butter added to it. That's so dank when they do that. If you're trying to make gains, then I get it with a Z. His name's Diesel, dude. Devin Diesel McGaw. I mean, come on, McGraw, come on. Of course this guy on his profile is going to bring protein powder to the date. I love it. All right, dude. That's it. Oregon Trail, dude. Blazed it. Loved it. Hopefully you blazed up a nice one while you were listening to this. Fired up. Aaron, thank you, my dog. Yeah. Crushing it as always. Please write in, dude. StratterWilsonShreds@gmail.com. Oh, no, excuse me. Yeah, StratterWilsonShreds@gmail.com. Questions, comments, suggestions, whatevs, dude. Alrighty, freaking lit.